Welcome back, fellow Dream Warriors, to Riderpiece Theater! Me, Alistair Dayhawk, and tonight, me proud to present Kamen Rider Zeztz, episode 40. You heard that right, folks, 40. So we're like 10 episodes away until, the season ends. And in this episode and the last episode, it's all about this one common theme, and the theme is redemption. And thanks to Nem, she pointed Baku to really think about, can bad people be redeemed? And Baku, he's like, look, I'm willing to make your dream come true, even though he himself has doubts in regards to Zeke specifically. Like, Zeke is a crazy bad guy. He committed a lot of bad things. But Nem assumes that it's all because of his fusion between him and Punishment. And now Zeke is no longer fused with Punishment, and Nem assumes that he is on his way of becoming a good man. So, leading up to this episode, in this scene in the spy room, you see Zeke sulking in the corner somewhere, and Nem approaches him. And this is funny because of how Zeke responded to her question. So, Nem sees a sad Zeke, and she approaches him and asks him, so are you feeling bad now because of all the bad things you have done for the past couple of years? Are you really feeling regret? Are you going to be on the road to redemption? Are you going to be a good man? And Zeke's answer was, hell no. I don't feel bad for the crimes that I committed in the past. No, the reason that I'm sad is because of my husband. Punishment has ducked me. Like, we're not going to be joined anymore because of Baku. And Nem was like, crap, are you serious? She's like, are you serious? Because remember, she thought that Zeke wasn't like originally a bad man at first. She assumes that he was just a good man and he did a couple of bad things, but there's still good in him. But when he fused with the nightmare, he was completely evil. So now he is diffused, like he's free. He should be starting to feel good and feel remorseful and asking us, hey, can you help me get redeemed because I don't know how? No, he's just sad because he got dumped. It is what it is. And the boys, Nox, he's very blunt. He was just like, Nem, you thought that him, leaving Punishment will lead him to become a good person? No, he's been sick and twisted. A guy like that would never want to change. He will never change. So it was a waste of time. And then you have Baku, who was like, I had my hopes, but, after hearing what he said, my hopes just went down the toilet. So, yeah. Before I move any further in this scene, I will give you guys my personal opinion about redemption and do I think that bad people can be redeemed? I will save that towards the very end. So Zeke aside, Baku tells Nox that he thinks he has a lead to who have stolen code Zombia. And he says that that person who stole it is trying to make the nightmares become stronger. And speaking of nightmares, we go to the next scene with Punishment overlooking the city of Tokyo. And he is saying that the barrier between the real world and dream world doesn't exist anymore. The dreams are now united as one, which means that him and the remaining three Nightmare Lords can take the world and make it their own. So he's declaring that this is my world now, bitches. Yeah, he's declaring that. So we go to the next scene with after the opening credits, and you have Luigi. He is sitting in front of the prison gates, and he is looking at the diary that Mario had. And if you remember that diary, he wrote down the items that both he and his brother stole, which is like vegetables, food, water, that sort of thing. And he decides to tear the book up. And then he gets greeted by punishment, and he is giving a verdict, and all of a sudden he wakes up. And Luigi wakes up at a park, and he's like, oh, was it a nightmare? I'm like, God damn, like, what was that? And then he looks down and looks at the pages that were torn up from the book, and he gets shocked, like, wait a minute. I don't remember tearing up pages from the book. I mean, I did it in my dream, but how come it's here in real time? And then all of a sudden, one of his arms started to change, just like what happened with Mario last week. One of his arms got turned into, the long shotgun, and that's how the scene ends there. So we go with Mulder and Scully, and they go meet with Baku in the spy office, and they tell Baku that after Mario's death, there's been multiple disappearances, and Scully takes out papers of ex-criminals who have criminal records, and all three of them realizes that, wait a minute, whoever is doing this is going after people who have criminal records. So we all know that it's Punishment. So Punishment is pulling a Akita from Death Note. He's just killing criminals left and right. And the thing is, though, why does he wait until, the criminals get turned into nightmares and then kills them? Because remember what happened last week with Mario. He slowly transformed into a nightmare, and that's when Punishment came in and kills him. So why didn't he just kill him right there and then with, him as a human? That's something like I'm starting to question. Like, why doesn't he just kill people right there and then? Why feel the need to wait until they get turned into a nightmare, then kill them? Unless he is tapping into their darkest desires of being a criminal, let them commit crimes so that he swoops in and be like, well, I have a reason to kill you because I just saw you steal a car. I saw you murder somebody. So that means whatever I'm doing to you now is justified. And I think that's the reason why he waits. So I'm just saying. And so Baku tells Mulder and Scully, like, he knows who is behind the killings, and he is determined to stop him before he grants more dreams. So we go to the next scene with Zero. He is having a meeting with Code's higher-ups, and he tells the higher-ups of Code's corruption, and Three's evil, and he is trying to tell the higher-ups that we need to reform Code or perhaps dissolve it altogether. And the higher-ups was like, wait a minute. Look, I know you have proof, but that also implicates you, Zero. Like, are you going to face justice? And Zero responds with, yeah, I mean, I know I'm involved in creating Code Zombia, so if I have to answer for my crimes involving that and other things, so be it. I'm willing to face justice. But unfortunately for the higher ups of Code, they're like, no, screw that. And they just pointed guns at Zero and like, nah, we're not going to let you take us to face justice. Nah, you're going to be the one to go. And then you see Zero using the booster capsule and just knocks everybody out in that room. And that's how the scene ends. And you would think that the higher ups of Code would be like, well, maybe it's time to fess up and we did committed bad crap. Maybe it's time to face our crimes. But instead, they're like, no. We're not going to do it. You're going to be the one to die and you're going to keep this thing, locked up and that will be the end of it. And they were worried too, like, okay, so if we turn ourselves in, what's going to happen to Code? And Zero responds with, well, if Code remains, why not just leave it to the next generation? Someone like a Baku or Nox, which I highly doubt Nox will ever take over Code, because Nox right now, he is trying to kill anything with the label Code in there. Like anything Code, he wants to destroy, because yes, Code did him so dirty that Nox will go all the stops to destroy everything or anything in regards to Code. He will make sure that Code does not exist. That's how bad Code kind of screwed Nox over. So Nox will never, ever try to, become the new leader of Code. However, I do see Baku maybe, just maybe, considering taking up the mantle of reforming Code if he wants to. Or he has the option of, let Code die. I want to be an independent agent where I just, go to people's dreams, and if there's a nightmare afoot, I will be there to stop it and help the dreamer, succeed. I will do what I've been doing for the past 39 episodes. That's what I'm trying to say here. So there's maybe a chance that Baku may consider taking over and reforming Code, but I just don't see it yet. So after Zero knocks the higher ups down, we go back to Mulder and Scully and Baku, and Mulder and Scully don't know what a door is. I will keep bringing it up until the last episode. They exited from the window, and you see Scully just accidentally knocks Mulder down, and he falls in the bush, and Scully just, drops down. And I'm like, I get that's their gimmick, but I'm at that point where I'm like, Mulder, Scully, everybody knows that you are working with Baku and Minami. There's no secret anymore. Just go use the front door. Unless there's no door that will allow Baku and Minami to exit. I mean, it's weird that Mulder and Scully is still using the window to enter into Baku's room. I'm like, come on, agents. You got your division back. And everybody, knows, at least the audience knows, that all of you guys are working together to uncover black cases, defeat nightmares, and save the day. We all know this. Why are you using the window to break in and exit out? Use the front door. I'm hoping to God that in the last episode, we'll finally get to see Mulder and Scully use a door. You have Minami entering Baku's room, and she tells Baku that she heard news from Zero that Zero is planning on dissolving Code, and he is willing to to release all of Code's secrets into the light. And you would think that Baku would be happy to hear the news that his papa is willing to dissolve Code, but instead of that, he becomes sad. And the reason why he becomes sad is because he doesn't know what the future holds for him after 10 episodes. Because he even says that he doesn't know what the future holds. Like, am I going to continue what I'm doing? Am I still going to have these powers, or are they going to take it away from me? Am I going to live a normal life before I became Zeztz? All of these things. And Minami gave the excellent advice that anybody should hear if they're in Baku's position, which is, don't worry about the future so much. Just worry about the present. Just worry about, treasuring this very moment, the moments treasure every moment you have and make good decisions and think about how you want to live your life and move forward. And that's it. That's the perfect advice anybody would give to someone in Baku's position. And that's an excellent answer. So we go to Luigi. Luigi declares that he will rob and steal better things, and he shoots his arm gun to the sky, scaring away Grandma. Well, not really scaring away Grandma, but he does scares Grandma because he was standing in front of Grandma's gate in front of her house. And then we go to another scene. Baku gets a phone call, and then we get another quick scene with Punishment seeing Luigi getting ready to commit a crime. And that's it. So we go to the sad and depressed Seig, and Nem points out, oh my god, Zeke and Nem, they're funny together, I swear. Nem points out that, Zeke, you're acting like a poor broken boyfriend who got divorced. And Zeke was like, hey, what we had, I and Punishment had, you would never understand. We were an item together. We were powerful together. I assume that Punishment never met anybody like me before after, 1 million years of existence, which causes Nem to ask, wait a minute, Punishment has existed for that long? And we get like a brief origin story from Zeke saying that Punishment has existed at the same time when God created man. So this tells me that not just Punishment, but also the other 3 Nightmare Lords, that they existed right around the same time humanity existed. Speaking of the Nightmare Lords, you have Nox returning to the secret garden, and he is surprised that he doesn't see the crazy lady. But instead of the crazy lady, he sees Phantom. And Nox asks the Phantom, hey, where's the crazy lady at? And the Phantom says, like, she is not here anymore. And Nox replies with, okay, what the hell did you do to her? And the Phantom doesn't say anything except that the boundary between the real world and the dream world is gone. And she disappears by saying, what realm would you live in? And she disappears, like I said, and Nox goes to the window, and by his surprise, he sees all the flowers in the secret garden all turn white. So I don't know what that means, but according to Nox, in his reaction, he's like, I don't think this is a good sign. So we go to the sad and depressed Seig. He goes on a rant about Code Zombia, that now, because of Code Zombia, everybody's dreams got connected, and Punishment once again dumps him. So he goes on a rant because of Code Zombia and rants about, Punishment leaving him and like, Punishment left me, why? And it's all because of Code Zombia. It's Zombia's fault that I got dumped by Punishment. And Nem asks if the nightmares no longer exist to torment their dreamers because of Code Zombia. And Zeke responds with, the nightmares now want complete control where they can do what they want when they want. So they no longer need to torment their dreamers anymore. Now they're out and about doing whatever the hell they want. Look what's going on with Punishment. He's doing what he wants now with no restricts because of Code Zombia and how all the dreams are connected into one. So yeah, thanks Code Zombia. So speaking of Punishment, we go to the next scene, another quick scene. Punishment gets happy because he gets to punish mankind. Yeah, that was the short scene. Punishment gets all happy and giddy because he gets to punish mankind. So we go to the next scene with Grandma talking with Mulder and Scully, and she is talking to them about Luigi and his shooting of his gun to the sky. And Mulder asks, where did he leave after, witnessing the shooting in the sky thing? And she replies that he went that way with that big house. And next thing you know, you hear screaming, and then Baku shows up, and they follow the screams. So speaking of following the screams, we go to the next scene. The screams lead Mulder, Scully, and Baku to this mansion, and you see Luigi trying to steal a woman's car. And during this, this thing where Luigi is telling this woman to fork over the keys, like, you would think that this lady would comply and be like, here, just take the keys, just don't kill me. She doesn't give him the keys. She just screams and just like, ah! And like, lady, just give me the keys. I don't want to kill you unless I have to. Just give me the stupid keys. But she doesn't give him the keys. And by the looks of the car, I mean, Luigi, you could have done better. Like, I'm not sure if Japan sells like Mustangs or one of those rich people cars, but you could have done way better than stealing that lady's car. I'm just saying, Luigi. I'm just saying. So Scully tells Luigi that, remember, you had a code that you're not supposed to kill people while stealing. Remember your code, man. You're turning your back on your code. And as Mulder and Scully were trying to, tell Luigi to stop what he's doing and just, hand himself over to the cops, well, to them, you have Baku remembering what Nem said to him about redemption, and Baku tells Luigi that it's not too late for you to change. Like, you haven't killed anybody yet. This is your chance to let the woman go and just turn himself over to the police. Like, you're not a monster, because if you end up shooting the crazy lady, well, if you end up shooting the witch woman, that means you are a monster. You become irredeemable. And once you cross the line, that's it. Luigi asks Baku if he has the dream. And Baku responds with, I have a dream of defeating evil and making people's dreams better. And this is where Luigi shoots Baku. Yeah, I don't know how many times Baku gets shocked in this season, but my God, he gets treated like Emu in X-Aid. For those who've seen X-Aid, Emu becomes becomes a punching bag for people. He ends up getting slapped. He ends up getting punched. He ends up, falling in some pool of water. I mean, he ends up becoming a human punching bag. And what I can remember, X8 had a special involving Kamen Rider Oja from Ryuki, and Asakura really did a number on Emu to the point where he had to drag his corpse, and he's still alive, Emu was, but you see him getting dragged. He was bloodied. Like, my God, like, Yuya does not like his main character at all. Why does he have to go through that brutal punishment of Asakura? I'm just realizing now. And Baku is becoming a character where he gets shot every single time. And this time he gets shot by Luigi after being asked, like, what is your dream? I have a dream of defeating evil and making dreamers better. And Luigi says, well, you're my enemy now and I'll shoot you. Yeah. So Baku gets shot and Mulder tackles Luigi to the ground, and Scully is trying her best to, stop the bleeding. And you see Baku becoming unconscious because he got shot. And he gets teleported back to the dream world and his spy room. And so which leads into the next scene. You see Baku appearing in his spy office, but you would think that appearing in the spy office, he is okay. But no, because apparently once he returns to the spy office, he gets shot by the very same bullet. So he gets shot not once, but twice. Once in the real world and once in the dreamland. And he falls down. And Zeke is looking at this and he's becoming a little bit happy that Baku gets shot, while Nem is like, what the hell just happened? And Nem approaches Baku and asks, okay, what am I supposed to do? And Baku, instead of asking Nem, can you please give me the recovery capsule so it could heal him, he instead asked Nem to get the first aid kit and to take out the bullet. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you don't have the recovery capsule? Instead, you're asking them to go get the first aid kit and, perform a mini surgery to take out the bullet? I don't know. I'm just like, why go through it when you have a capsule that heals you? Just saying. So after Nem takes out the bullet, Nem goes on a speech and she talks about how she does believe in human redemption, which causes Baku, who miraculously he gets up after getting shot and after taking the bullet out of his body, he just gets up, tells Nem that he will stop the divine punishment. He walks towards his bike as if he's not in pain whatsoever and rides to the prison where the punishment is staying at. So before I move forward, yes, I'm nitpicking at this point because Baku got shot and he got the bullet out of his body. You would think that he will still be in pain. You would still think that, well, he can't get up because if he gets up, the wound is going to cause him to bleed again. He needs to lay low and let it heal so that, the bleeding doesn't start up again. But he just miraculously gets up, walks towards his bike, and rides away as if he never got shot at all. So I don't know. If he had used the recovery capsule, okay, I get it. He used it. he's healed up. There's no wound, there's no scar. The bullet's out. He's magically healed. Okay, he can get up, walk around, and feel no pain. But for him to just getting the bullet out and get bandaged up, I mean, he just gets up without feeling any pain. He just sits down on his bike without feeling any pain. Like I don't know, man. This is one of those things where it starts to bug me when in real life, there's no way Baku can just get up and be like, oh, I'm going to ride my bike. Well, dude, you got shot. You got the bullet out, and just let it heal. Like, it's bandaged up, but your body needs to heal itself, because if you don't, you'll be bleeding out. But no, in this case, no, because I think in Dreamland, anything is possible. There's no pain in Dreamland, I guess. But, I may be nitpicking, but it's just like use suspension of disbelief. That's what I'm trying to say. But okay. So the injured Baku, who doesn't feel any pain, just rides towards the prison where Punishment is hiding. Meanwhile, in the real world, Mulder is still pinning down the evil Luigi, and he tells Luigi that please don't do this. You will end up like your brother if you continue down this path. And Scully notices that Baku's bleeding has stopped, and then Luigi just knocks Mulder away from him, and he completes the transformation into a full-blown nightmare. And then we quickly go to the next scene with Punishment, and he looks like he was about to kill him right there and then. And then here comes Baku using his motorcycle to stop Punishment and knocks him down. And Nox joins in, saying that, hey, this guy is too powerful for you to defeat, so I'm joining in as well, which Baku says, like, you're teaming up with me? Since when? Like, what's going on here? Because Baku is surprised, like, you want to team up with me? Why? And so, and after 39 episodes, we get to see Baku and Nox teaming up against Punishment. They fight Punishment, and as powerful as Punishment is, he was no match with the combined strength of Extreme and Midnight Nox. So they both use the Great Banish and Noma Blades to destroy Punishment. And we quickly go to the next scene. With Punishment being gone, Luigi transforms back to his human self and gets arrested in handcuffs. And we go back to Nox and Baku, and tells Baku that the crazy lady has disappeared. And Baku notices a change in the nightmares. And next thing you know, you see a black-purple mist forming in the shape of Punishment, which shocks both Nox and Baku. I'm like, wait a minute, we just killed you and now you got revived again? What the hell? And the reason why Punishment got revived is thanks to the power of Code Zombia, and Punishment leaves. And speaking of Code Zombia, we go to the next scene to the person who has its grips on the capstan, and it turns out that one of the fairy nightmares somehow got a hold of the Code Zombia capstan. And you see it, playing around with it for a little bit. And then here comes the Phantom saying, hey, it's time. And the fairy, nods, and it ends up eating the capstan. And you see it transform into the fourth and final Nightmare Lord, Oblivion Nightmare. And the Phantom leaves Oblivion into this door leading up to the world of the Four Thrones. Then we get to see this cool moment between all four of the Nightmare Lords together, with Oblivion, Phantom, Destruction, and Punishment. They have like a moment together, and they decided to go to their respective thrones, and that's how the episode ends. My thoughts about this episode was, it was an okay episode, even though there were cool moments like having all the four Nightmare Lords finally assembled and sitting on their thrones. I thought it was a really cool ending. Punishment being defeated, I was just like, wow. I mean, you just are bringing all the four Nightmare Lords together, because this is like the final arc, and both Nox and Baku easily destroys him, but thanks to the power of Zombia, he ends up getting resurrected again. And now he's going to be back with a vengeance along with the other three lords. We're seeing the foundations, the beginning of the end of Zeztz, now with the four Nightmare Lords assembled. And they are going to take the world by force now that the boundary between the real world and the world of dreams is destroyed. Baku getting shot, it's nothing new. He's becoming like an Emu from X8, where he becomes the punching bag for people to just slap and get shot at. It's just, I'm making fun of the fact that, oh, again, Baku, what's up with you and getting shot at? And of course, the nitpicking of Baku, suddenly is all better after, getting a bullet out of his body, and he walks around as if nothing happens. It's just those type of things, it bugs me a little bit. But what I wanted to talk about towards the end is the theme of redemption, because both this episode and the last episode was all about redemption. Can people change? And my personal answer is yes, as long as they're willing to do the work. Anybody can be redeemed unless they don't want to, And it's up to Zeke to decide that if he is willing to, be on the road to redemption. As of right now, he says, hell no, I'm not feeling bad for the things that I have done. I'm just sad that Punchy just left me and we're no longer fused together. That's what his answer is. And this causes Baku to really be like, well, if a guy like Zeke cannot be redeemed, I don't think anybody else who is bad can change. But this is where Baku in the real world, gets reminded of Nem's dream that she does believe that people can change. And this is where Baku gains the courage and confronting Luigi by saying, you have a chance to stop this. You have a chance to change. But if you decide to pull the trigger on this woman, there's no redemption for you. I mean, if you kill somebody, that's it. You cross the line, that's it. And he gets shot for it. But ultimately, Baku, thanks to Nem, has this belief that anybody like a Zeke and a Nox can change. It's all about, are you willing to go through the gauntlet and, be thrown stones by people you have wronged, by people you did harm? Are you willing to go through with it in order to, be like, hey, I have changed. Yes, I committed crimes, but I'm willing to face my fears and pay for my crimes in order to, be redeemed. Like, look what happened with Xena. For those who've seen Hercules the Legendary Journeys up to, Xena and on her own show, Hercules laid the foundation of Xena wanting to change. And then once Xena had her own show, you had Gabrielle take over what Hercules had started and just guided Xena all the way to her final episode, where she finally feels that she has redeemed herself and be at peace. And is someone like Zeke willing to change? There's 10 episodes to find out. But I believe so. But he's just, right now, he is very sad that Punchy has divorced him. And that's pretty much it. But write in the comments below, do you think, or do you want, that's a better question, do you want a redeemed Zeke, or do you want him to stay how he is? For me, it doesn't really matter to me. But if I had to make a choice, I don't want him to be redeemed. I personally want him to stay as, the Freddy Krueger of Zeztz. But I don't know, something tells me leading up to the final episode, we might see a small change in Zeke's character, but we have to wait and see. But, the theme of both episodes is redemption. And before I leave, of course, have you seen episode 40? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Did I miss anything? Even though I have my notes in front of me, I may have missed a couple of things here and there. You never know. My questions for you guys is, do you guys believe in redemption? Do you want to see a redeemed Zeke? Or you don't want to see a redeemed Zeke? Write in the comments below. And also, what do you think happened to the crazy lady? Did she fuse with the Phantom, or you have your own thoughts of where she went? And yeah, so give a like if you like it, and please subscribe, and I'll see you all on the other side of Oblivion. And also, happy Father's Day, everyone. Johnny!